8:34, and in this morning's Health Matters, we're discussing the importance of controlling your cholesterol.
Yeah, so these numbers are the difference between life and death in some matters. And you may not even know that you are at risk until it's too late and the damage is already done. Joining us this morning is cardiologist Dr. Aeshita Dwivedi with Northwell Health. So good morning and thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So let's talk about cholesterol because we do need cholesterol in our body. So explain how it works in our body to our benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. So cholesterol is so important for our body. It performs so many essential functions. It helps with our hormones. It helps our nervous system function appropriately. It also helps synthesize vitamin D and also maintain our skin, which is so important. But at the end of the day, it really matters what kind of cholesterol and too much of anything is a bad thing. And when it becomes too much in our body, it can start to damage, the blood vessels of our heart, our brain, and that's when it becomes a problem.
Right, so you get to the doctor, someone says, you have high cholesterol. So how do you get to that point of having high cholesterol?
Yeah, so there's multiple factors that play a part. So your genetics are so important. So certain families, high cholesterol just runs in your family. So it's important to talk to your parents, your cousins, your grandparents, do you have high cholesterol? The other thing is your diet. So what you put into your body is so important. And so it's important to choose the right food, stay active. A sedentary lifestyle can contribute to high cholesterol. And managing your stress. Stress is so prevalent in all our lives. And sometimes we can't handle what goes on around us, but we can manage how we handle the stress. So all these things, together play a part in our cholesterol levels.
Can even getting less sleep contribute to that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when we get less sleep, we're more irritable, we're less likely to work out, and also more likely to make unhealthy food choices. We crave the carbs when we're lacking sleep. So absolutely, sleep is so important for a healthy lifestyle.
What are the red flags? Like, how do you know if you're entering before going to the doctor and finding out through tests, if you're kind of getting to that point?
So, the problem with cholesterol is it's silent. We often don't know that we have high cholesterol until it becomes a problem in our body. And the way it impacts our body is it can build up plaque or blockages in the arteries to our heart and our brain. So sometimes, you may even have symptoms of a severe blockage to the heart. So it could be, I get chest discomfort when I walk or short of breath when I walk. So when you have such symptoms, it's important to talk to your doctor. In terms of blood supply to your brain, if you have severe blockages, you may have word finding difficulty, confusion, weakness in a part of your body. So, but these are really very late symptoms when, the damage has already been done. And so it's so important to get it checked out before it becomes a problem. By visiting your doctor and being proactive about your health.
What are the specific tests? Because my husband actually, thankfully, did all the tests he needed to do and found that he had a major blockage in one of his arteries, and it was because of a cholesterol test.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the most basic blood test we offer is your cholesterol levels. So, there's the good cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and, it can help us understand your risk for heart disease. Nowadays, we also have certain genetic markers like lipoprotein A, which can also predict your cardiac risk. And then we have more diagnostic tests, the imaging tests, which are non-invasive ways of finding plaque in the arteries to the heart, to the brain. These technologies typically include ultrasounds and CAT scans. And if we do detect plaque in its early stages through these tests, then we can put you on the right medication and also, help you develop a lifestyle that would prevent those severe blockages from happening.
Once you have high cholesterol, right, and you're on the meds, for example, and I have some family members who are on meds for the rest of their life. Is there a way to not be on meds for the rest of your life that you can bring the numbers down?
Yeah, so that really depends on your health status. So once you have plaque, typically the recommendation is that, it's there, it's not gonna go away, it's a chronic condition. It's kind of like high blood pressure, right? So that usually requires a long-term medication. However, if you don't have plaque and, you make lifestyle changes to bring down your cholesterol, that can oftentimes help you get off medications. And, you know, maybe you lose weight, you know, you improve your lifestyle, you are more active, and that can definitely bring down your numbers. And then we can try to titrate you off the medications, but it's so individualized at the end of the day.
And I think it's important to note, too, that healthy people can also have high cholesterol. Because my husband is he's very active, he works out, but he still had high cholesterol.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's where your genetics come in, right? Because, and not to undermine your lifestyle, because if you have bad genetics and then you add a bad lifestyle on top of that, that's a double whammy, right? But yes, I have a lot of patients who do everything right. They eat well, you know, they exercise every day. But, you know, our genes are what we're born with, and, you know, you have to manage it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
All very interesting. Doctor, thank you for breaking it all down for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
And we'll be right back.